So there's this pretty widespread theory that Greg is a sociopath. So I decided to continue this extreme effort post of a series by telling you why this theory might just check out.
What's up, guys? My name is Brian, and today we're back with a video. We're reacting to why Greg Heffley is a sociopath. Of course, nobody can really tell unless you go to like a psychiatrist or something like that, but it'll be interesting to see what he says.
So there's this pretty widespread theory that Greg is a sociopath. So I decided to continue this extreme effort post of a series by telling you why this theory might just check out. Now, a sociopath is defined as someone who lacks a sense of moral responsibility or social conscience,
You can see that in Greg,
oftentimes
for
hurting
sure.
others with little to no remorse at all. In the 5th installment of the series, Greg fills his plate with deviled eggs at a neighbor's birthday party,
I remember
but
this.
because he didn't like them, he dumps the entire thing into a plastic plant when no one is looking. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the garbage
like
can
moved
is
away
the
or
better
something, yo.
option,
I remember
but
this.
maybe
I remember
that
this
concept
happening
is
in the
too
book.
hard for him to understand. Anyways, eventually a few weeks later, those eggs started to rot, and they just couldn't figure out where that horrible smell was coming from. So they hired a professional carpet cleaner, but when that didn't work, they thought it was a dead mouse in the walls, so
I don't know why he wouldn't just throw them away. Wait, no. He was just because like if you have bad food and you go to somebody's house, like you like fold the plate. You know what I'm saying? Like so they don't know. So they don't know you didn't eat it. That's all he had to do. Just fold the plate like a little fold. That's all it takes.
they tore those down too. And when they just couldn't figure it out, they said, yeah, okay, let's dip. And so they moved out. The worst part is Greg just watched as all of this was happening. I mean, he really could have said
Yeah, they did
something
move away,
before
see?
they had to rip their walls open or even move out. And what's even worse is that he just watched them as they took the plastic
Is that a real valid reason?
plants filled with
Is that
eggs
like a
with
valid
them.
reason? Is that a valid reason to move out of your house just because something stunk? Like,
Honestly, my real question is how they didn't realize that the smell was coming from the plant, though. I mean, the guy was literally holding it.
That's true.
Honey, as long as the outcome benefits Greg, then it really doesn't matter what happens to anyone else. Here's another example. Greg wants to be the treasure of his school just to antagonize jocks. And instead of campaigning for himself like literally everyone else, he resorts to slandering his opponent instead, drawing pictures of him mishandling the school's money and warns everyone about how he had lice in 2nd grade, which somehow makes him unfit to be a treasure. I don't know. As long as the outcome benefits Greg, he doesn't care who has to take the fall for him. This again is
this is true. That's also what I really found funny in like a lot of these. You know, it's like Greg just wouldn't care, and I think that's part of the appeal. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if the author did it on purpose to make Greg a sociopath, or it was just like, yo, what's a funny formula that makes kids laugh, you know? But it would be interesting if if the author, because didn't the author say Greg was like an extension of himself? I forgot the author's name, but I'm pretty sure he said like Greg was an extension of himself at one point. And it's like, is the author a sociopath since he finds this stuff funny? Or does he know Greg is a sociopath? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be interesting to ask.
perfectly
and see.
displayed when Greg is performing for his school play. Manny stands up and shouts Bubby, and without hesitation makes it seem like Manny was talking to him instead of Greg. Which, honestly, that's some quick thinking.
That was funny. That was smart of him.
As
I
it
don't
led to
blame
that kid getting bullied a few days later instead of Greg. And, instead of feeling even a little bit of remorse, all I can think about is that he's relieved that he isn't the one getting picked on. Not only that, but during the play, instead of following the lines, he goes completely quiet and ruins the entire play by
didn't do
throwing
that on
apples at the
purpose.
star.
Oh, never
Which,
mind.
I mean, she kind of deserved it. And
True.
while everyone a part of the play and the audience went home visibly upset, only one man went home with a grin on his face. Now, another common trait found in sociopaths is narcissism, which is often displayed by a lack of care for others and how they use kindness as a tool
That's like, that. Yeah, that Greg definitely, by these standards, I don't know what other standards he has, but the answer is yes to the question.
for manipulation, which is interesting because we pretty much never see Greg do anything
One thing that was hilarious, though, was when Manny had the cookie and he put it in the Xbox, bro. And Greg couldn't do a thing, bro. I was so mad at Manny, bro, because I was on Greg's side,
Intentionally
obviously.
kind for anyone. The only time we ever see him do anything remotely kind is for his extended family, inviting them all over to his birthday party, shoveling snow for them, and even invites his grandmother over for dinner. All these acts are shams. He doesn't do these things out of the good of his heart. He doesn't invite his extended family to his party because he loves them. He does it to maximize the amount of gifts he gets. But it's also because he really only has one other friend. And a party with just one other person is basically a date. And he only invites his grandmother over for dinner because his dad won't get mad at him when his mother is over. Which is actually kind of smart. Greg, I swear, if I see you dancing at the strip club one more time...
Let it slide.
Let your son get his bag, you fucking limp dick!
And now, everything I've mentioned is pretty bad. But what's arguably even worse than all of this is the way he treats his best friend,
Without a doubt.
Rowley.
Yeah.
Greg essentially views Rowley as being...
He does Riley so dirty. He does him so bad. Like he treats him like he's he's a disposable cup or something, you know. Just toss him in the trash, you know. So
an
this is a
entirely
good
lower
point.
status than himself, forcing Rowley to carry him up hills and thinking of him as no more than a pet. No, seriously, he wrote a script where he and Holly Hills are married and Rowley plays as his dog.
Jesus.
That's just not normal. This is
Distasteful.
something I can imagine happening at a furry convention or something.
What is actually going on?
Now, most people are familiar with Greg's fun game of throwing a ball at Rowley as he zooms down a hill, leading to Rowley's arm breaking. Greg hardly showing even a glimmer of remorse, and instead attempts to capitalize on Rowley's newfound popularity gifted to him from his broken arm.
Remember that.
Here,
Yeah.
Rowley is staying the night at Greg's house, and Greg notices how Rowley kicks the pillow every time he gets downstairs. And like the really cool prankster he is, he puts a dumbbell under the pillow. Just a dumbbell. Right there. So that he can watch as Rowley just full power kicks the weight. Screw stubbing one toe, Rowley just smashed all his toes at once.
That's kind of funny,
And
you gotta
Greg
admit.
just standing there smiling. Greg just using Rowley. I mean, this is literally how he sees him. Bro, what is this? And why is Greg drawing this? Now here, Greg and Rowley are working as safety patrols and get all these benefits.
I remember this. This was
but
like
when
the
Greg gets called out for
fifth
harassing
book, I
kids,
think.
he's accidentally mistaken for Rowley. Now, Greg wasn't actually sure what to do in this
No,
situation.
this was that winter book. This was the blue book. It was a light blue book. I remember this one.
But when Greg asked his mom what he should do in this situation, Susan told Greg to simply do the right thing. Which in Greg's mind means to let Rowley take the fall for this one. Making Rowley apologize to these random kids and then loses his job as
I just want to say, it's making remember that like the Diver Wimpy Kids series movies, bro, were perfectly casted. Every character fit. Rowley looked just like Rowley. The dad looked just like the dad. Roderick is exactly how you would imagine. That movie was perfectly casted. Those like that series of movies until they got the new Roderick, perfectly casted.
safety. But another very common trait of sociopathy is that they struggle to understand other people's emotions and can't decipher between right and wrong. He made Rowley really upset, but just can't see that. He goes home and happily tells his mother that he did the right thing, and then goes and gets ice cream with her. He honestly thinks that he's doing the right thing. It should be fairly obvious to most of us that Greg is in the wrong here.
True.
But that's just the thing. Greg isn't normal. Before I end this video, one thing that's interesting to note is the fact that Greg never smiles. His face is pretty much the same throughout the entire series. But notice how the few times he actually smiles throughout the book is when he's somehow hurting others.
I never
seemingly
realized that.
getting joy from
Never.
this. And this isn't a coincidence either. In pretty much all of these situations I use as an example, he was smiling. And other than times like these, he pretty much never does. Just something to think about. Video over.
I think he's right. Like, he brings up a lot of good points. There are some other points I remember. They're just not on the top of my head that I remember. Like, I'm like, yo, this guy's not okay on the head. And I think there were some stronger points to be made, but he was 100% right in everything he said. Greg Heffley is definitely if he's not a sociopath, he's a psychopath, or he has something wrong with him. Very wrong, because that is not okay. Like, you can't do that. You can't do this stuff. Like, it's horrible, you know? But hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I added enough insight of my own to warrant this being a video. If you like it, let me know, and I can do it again.